Okay, so this week's discussion topic is about perception, and I have it all written down in my laptop, so that's what I'm looking at. But to me, perception is how individuals recognize the world around them from their own senses. The three things I took away all kind of go hand in hand. I said the perceptual set, which is to perceive only what we want or expect, and then egocentric, which is lack the ability to take another person's perspective, and then also self-serving bias, which is attribute one's success to the internal causes and one's failure to external causes. And I took this away mainly because I feel like a lot of people can sometimes come in contact with this with some people, whether it's people from school, family, or work. All of these have to do with interpersonal communication, I think, because a lot of it's from what you feel or think on the inside and put out or expecting. One thing I wasn't fully able to understand was perception checking behaviors. After reading it, I was able to understand it made sense. It was just more so than not being familiar with the action of doing it. So it was really just indirect perception checking is listening and observing to seek additional information. And then the steps for that are just testing your perception for accuracy, just by asking the person that you had the miscommunication with and clarifying what you thought with what they actually meant. So it makes it just a little bit harder to understand when you've ever done it. But also the textbook adds a part that I immediately thought of when reading it was, what if the person isn't telling you the truth? Or what if they're just using what you thought to serve themselves better? But it said, asking people if your perceptions are correct is useful only if they are willing to tell you. So that was one part that I was like, that makes things a little complicated. But for my second point, with understanding what everyone thinks about what is going on in the world right now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really pay much attention to what is going on in the world. I typically just do my day-to-day of school, work, and then focusing on college and what I'm going to do in the future, which I should pay more attention because as I'm going out into the world, I should know what's going on, but I do not. But I come to this conclusion due to my influences around me and that have always been around me, which are the same. They don't really engage in the news or what's going on in the world. So it's very easy to forget about what is going on outside in the world when your whole life has been surrounded by the same people and schedules, like just going school, work, sleep, repeat. So that's this week's discussion.